Hey guys, Jake from Sharp, and today we are taking a look at the Ittetsu Nashiji Garasuki in 185 millimeters. Wait a second, that's not a knife. This is a knife. So, this is the Garasuki Nashiji. You can see that this is much like a Hanesuke, but this is the Hanesuke's big brother. They're going to be much larger than a normal Hanesuke, usually at 180 to 210 millimeters versus 150 millimeters. That being said, they are generally the same idea. They have a thicker stock, they have a reverse tanto or a K-tip, which adds a lot of strength, and you can still use that to dig between joints and things like that when you're butchering. This is the backup that the backup calls. These guys, like I said, are 185 millimeters in the blade length and 320 millimeters for the overall length. Like the rest of the Ittetsu Nashiji line, they're going to be made of Aogami or blue #2. As the core steel, it is heat treated to 61 or 62. They're going to be stainless clad, so you're going to get the best of both worlds. You can see that dark line there. That is going to be the exposed carbon steel, which means that you are still going to get the carbon steel ease of sharpening. It's still going to be, it's going to take a finer edge than most stainlesses, and it's going to hold an edge for a very, very long time. That being said, with the stainless cladding, it's much easier to keep this guy from rusting or corroding on you. That being said, one more time, it is still a carbon knife, so you will still have to wipe it down, keep it dry, keep it clean. I suggest keeping a damp rag on your station. Before your knife goes down, you give it a quick wipe. Wipe your board. Whether you're using stainless or carbon, I believe that this is something that everyone should be doing. Just keeps things neat and tidy, and when it is time to bump up to a carbon steel knife, you already have that habit built and you are good to go. So the handle on this guy is going to be a one-piece walnut handle with a welded stainless steel bolster. Very nice, smooth transition between the two. So good fit and finish on these guys. This is going to be a cross between a Western and a Japanese handle. It very much has the profile of a Western handle. That being said, it is a pin tang that only goes about halfway through the handle. I am normally not the most fond of Western style handles, if I'm being completely honest with you, but I do really like the handles from this line. I think that they fit quite nicely in my hand, and I don't feel like they are obnoxiously heavy because it's a pin tang, because I don't really like a handle heavy knife. This guy is going to be 42 millimeters from the heel to the spine. The width of the spine is going to be 5 millimeters. I don't know if you can really tell, but this is quite a chunky boy. So that's going to add and with a thicker stock and also a lower grind, it's going to be a lot more robust, which makes it great for butchering tasks. Which brings me to my next topic of what this knife is used for. This is very much like a Hanesuke. This is a butchering knife that is a little bit more biased towards something like poultry. That being said, with the added size and strength, this gains a lot of versatility. Whether that means you are boning a pork shoulder, you can certainly still use this to break down chickens or even turkeys or other game birds of larger size, things like that. You can also use this on fish. You don't need to get a deba. You can use something like this even on something like a salmon or a larger fish. And with that fine tip, you can certainly still use it on something smaller, be it like a bass or a snapper or something like that. The weight on this guy, as one of my last points, is going to be 181 grams. So again, with the thicker stock, this guy is going to be a little bit on the heavier side, but it's balanced still right about where I would pinch grip it, so it still feels very light and nimble in my hand. And I will show you guys the profile of it. So you have a decent little flat spot there, and you can rock pretty high. That being said, you're probably not going to be using a knife like this too much for tasks like that. However, when you're breaking down something, it's nice to have that curve to it so that you can drag through and cut off excess skin or portion pieces of meat more efficiently. So, one more time guys, this has been the Ittetsu Nashiji Garasuki in 180 millimeters.